Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of Unleash Your Inner Magic. I'm Kelly Dawn, and today I'm speaking with transformational coach Tijuana Cooper from New York City, Renaissance Mom. Hey, Tijuana, how's it going?
Hey, Kelly, how are you? I'm absolutely wonderful. Everything is awesome. It's awesome.
Awesome. I am so excited to speak with you today because I don't know a lot about your background and your journey, and I know the work you're doing is super powerful, and a lot of that has to do with where you came from and your past. So if you could just take a couple minutes to introduce yourself and share with our listeners what you do, how you're working with clients, and what your business is.
Okay, so hi, once again, I'm Tijuana Cooper, New York City Renaissance Mom. So I'm a transformation coach, and how I got started is basically based on my story. I'm an avid believer in a woman's story. The single mom of 10 children. My oldest child is 36. My youngest is 17. And as a single mom raising my children, it was really, really hard. Like, my story is just filled with a lot of stuff. And it wasn't until I hit, they say hit rock bottom, but I went beyond rock bottom. So I don't know if you could, kind of get an idea. And once I hit that breaking point, that was it. I just decided to do something different with my life. And as a result, here I am today. And it was based off of the decision. Once I made the decision, because it's all about the decision. Once you make the decision to do something different, then you get different results. And that's why I'm standing here today.
Amen to that. It all comes down to a decision. I agree, like 120%. That's
yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So what was it for you when you first got started? Did you have an idea of what you wanted to do with your business? Like, did you wake up one day and just know this was the path that was for you? Or did you kind of go down a winding road and experiment with different things before you got to where you are now?
Wow, that is so amazing that you asked that question, because no, I did not wake up and realize, I want to be a transformation coach. That was just totally not it. I played with a couple of ideas. I'm into health and fitness. So I thought I wanted to, be a fitness coach. I thought I wanted to work with children. I thought I wanted to do all of these things. However, the key to it was that when I sat down for a moment and I started to take a look at myself internally, that's when the ideas started to flow. They began to flow. And for me, it's not until like I sit down and I take inventory that I get the actual answer to what it is that I need. And so once I did that, then I was able to identify. I had to take a look at my story. First of all, my business is built on my story, my brand. And so as a single mom, I learned some skills. As a survivor of domestic violence, I learned some skills. As a survivor of homelessness and sleeping on the trains and eating out of soup kitchens with my children, I learned some things. However, for some women, we're afraid to tackle our stories, because they contain some traumatic experiences. They contain painful events. And as a result, we don't want to relive those moments. However, the reality of it is that, one, the story is not actually as we tell it. Part of our stories are illusions. So we add the extra effects to the story, right? Mm-hmm. So once we add the extra effects to the story, then it's really this big thing, right? And so in looking at that, I had to remove the illusions, which means that I had to go into my story and redecipher. And why do I say redecipher? Because there are times when I look at my story and I start to deciphering things, taking away from, and there's still the attachment of the illusion, right? However, when I redecipher from an affirming point of view or a positive inquiry, right? Then I get a different perspective on my story. And that's how I got to this place. I started removing the layers, like an onion. You start to peel and peel and peel. And as you're peeling the onions, of course, you cry. Like I cried. And, there were times I was in a fetal position. However, the light, right? They talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. Girl, I cannot do the light at the end of the tunnel. You understand? I came to believe and understand that I am the light, which means that when I go in the tunnel, the light is with me all of the time. So I get everything it is that I need for that part of my journey. And when I get to the other side, then I breathe and I take the valuable lessons that I've learned and I apply them. And that's how I, began to get an idea about my purpose. And that is working with women to remove the veil, to remove the illusion so that we can embrace her story, our story, and use it as a catalyst to step boldly into our future. That's how I got here. So yes.
Holy shit. Okay. That is powerful stuff. And what I really love about what you said is that you were pulling from your own experiences and your own story. And because you went through what you did, you are now able to help people in such a deep, deep way. And I think a lot of people, if they want to get into coaching, consulting, or really serving others, they feel like they don't have enough. And if they just look at their own story and what they've been through, they will realize that they can pull from those experiences, and it's those experiences that shape who they are. And that's how you differentiate yourself, and that's how you can really help others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are three women that I aspire to. I just love them dearly. And it's Oprah Winfrey, because as we know her story, she was turned down numerous times. And look at her now. She's a living legend. Maya Angelou used her silence, right, to create a voice that speaks volumes for years and generations to come, right? And Lisa Nichols was labeled as dyslexic. She was told by her professors not to ever do public speaking, not to, her writing, forget about it. However, when you look at Lisa Nichols right now, she's a renowned public speaker and writing, even though she says that she has editors who, edit her writing, the ideas, the intensity of it, it's just all encompassing. You would never be able to tell. These women had, and I don't want to call them issues, but they had their uniqueness, right? That allowed them to embrace and just become these profound individuals. So for me, that says that I have to, if I want to live purposefully, if I want to give back, what is given to me, what is in me, then I have to go into my story and go and just get the lessons, dig through the treasure chest. I call it as a treasure chest. And you just unlock the treasure chest, and then the gifts, the jewels begin to unfold, and you get everything you need. I would try to be like this coach and that coach. And I was like, why isn't this working for me? Because I wasn't living authentically. And I can only do that by embracing who I am. And I can't pick and choose which part of myself I choose to be. I have to be my entire self, my whole and complete self. So yeah, that's important.
Now, for people who are wanting to dive into their own story and uncover and go through those layers like you did, what did that process look like for you? Like, was it journaling or meditation, or how did you actually go through that yourself?
Well, being a naturalist as I am, I'm a naturalist. So for me, it happened. And it's so interesting. It just happened that my dog, right? I had my dog, and I would take my dog for walks. And it's so simple. That's the thing. This whole thing is so simple, but we as humans, we complicate things because we overanalyze, or we are egoic, the egoic mind. However, it's a simple thing. I just started walking my dog. And then one day it was like this aha, or this like duh moment. I live right down the block from the beach. So I started walking my dog on the boardwalk, and then it went into meditating on the boardwalk, and then everything else just started to blossom. So it's just really, in its simplest form, is saying yes. Oh my God. When I say yes to living and loving life as it is, not as I want to see it, but as it is in the moment, right? Then everything else opens up. So the moment that I said yes, the beach happened, the working out happened, the journaling happened, the dancing happened. So the unique self will begin to express itself as it is for you. So what works for me may not work for you. But the moment you say yes, that's when it will happen. Just being open to something different. That's it.
I just got chills.
Oh, don't say that. No. Yes.
It's true because, yeah, we're so often looking down the road and outside of ourselves when we're trying to figure things out. And like you said, we like to make things so damn hard as human beings. We like to overcomplicate things and add in all these extra things to try to figure things out and work through things and this and that, when really, like you said, just it can be as simple as going for a walk and just saying yes to what is just in that present moment, which can be a really tough place to stay because it can be really uncomfortable.
Right. Right. And see, that's the thing. It's, I'm not going to say that it's easy because it's not. I'm telling you, it's really not. However, we have, it's my belief that we have everything that we need. We have everything. And when we realize that, then the more we say yes and introduce ourselves to this new state of being, which is change, then the more capable we become and dealing or transforming in that process. So there were times when I was crying. There were times I was in the fetal position. Oh my God, breathless. However, there was this bone deep longing inside of me that said, no matter what, right? No matter what, you're already there, right? And this is how I speak in spirit, in energy. However, physically, you have to get to the other side. You're already where you want to be. You're already there. You just have to make it physically to the other side. So the bone deep longing is how I made it through those moments. That's how I made it. So yeah, fear could either be a motivator, and there's an acronym. Oh, so fear is false evidence appearing real. So it appears real, but it's not real. Once we face it, then it diminishes the power, that power. Once we stand in our power, right, then the fear diminishes. And then we can do what it is that we came here to do. You know, it would be foolish of me to believe that this life that I'm living is only for myself. That's selfish. I'm not here just to self-actualize or for self-fulfillment. Yeah, that's a part of it. But I'm also here to help others to learn how to self-actualize and be self-fulfilled so that they know that, okay, you're already that. You just need the tools so that you can identify and live in that place.
Awesome. And through your work, you work mainly with women, correct?
Yes, I work mainly with women. And because of course I'm a woman, and because I have, based on my own experiences, that's where I gravitate to. Hey, who's that in the background?
Oh, that's Alexa. Hey,
beautiful.
Hey,
kitty. Yeah, and I mean, I've worked with a few men. However, basically, I'm more focused on women. Yeah.
Cool. And as far as what you're doing out in the world, I know you are doing speaking, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Which is awesome because I think you have such a presence. I know we've spoken before, and every time I talk to you, I feel so energized, and like you just have this way of filling people up, and your energy is so strong, and your message is so powerful. To connect with you in person would be would be insane in a good way. But I would love for you to share, as far as getting out there and doing speaking and putting yourself out there in front of people, if you can share any tips for our audience on how to move through any fear that they have of just taking that first step and getting visible, whether it's online or in person, things that you've gone through or things that could really help them move forward that way.
Right. So my suggestion and what I did is people really wouldn't believe this. I was kind of sort of an introvert. So yeah, right, Kelly? Really? Yeah, right. And so for introverts, it's kind of, it's complicated because we want to be a part of, but then we really don't want to. And because some of us are more sensitive than others, it's kind of hard to go out into, the society and be this person because we're sensitive. So we pick up stuff. And then because we don't know how to get rid of or shake off the stuff, then we come home and we're tired and this and this. So it's kind of hard. So what I did is I created a, how would I call it? It's not a vision map. It's more of a purpose map, right? And what it is that I want to address so that I can get the courage to step out and do what it is I needed to do. So what I came up with was social media. Social media is it's number one for me. I use social media to interact with people because even with that, for people who are introverts, just responding to a post, what will they think about me? Will they think I'm crazy? These people don't even know me. It's this the committee in the mind, right? Starts to have this big conversation. And so just getting involved in social groups, like on Facebook, find what it is that you're passionate about. Like get a big, a piece of paper and put it on the wall of the graphing board, or you know what I'm talking about, the piece, whatever, you know what I mean? And put it up there, take a picture of yourself and put it right in the middle. And then look at the picture and say to yourself, okay, what is it that you want to do? How do you want to go out into the world and express yourself? How do you want to be recognized? Ask these questions, and whatever comes up, one question at a time, brainstorm, just write around your picture, just write. And even if you just make, like a copy off of the computer, so it's not an exact picture, even if you have to write across your picture, positive words across your picture, you just write. And then finally, from whatever it is that you write, you can choose either 3, 7, or 10 words that resonate, that just speaks to you, and grab them and then write about it. Just write about it. Does social media work for you? What works? And just go from there. And then once you've done all of that, now you have to make a promise to yourself. And I call it the internal promise. Right? Because I've made promises to people and I've, broken the promise and it's like, oh shit, like I did that? Wow. But when I make a promise to myself, and I'm talking about a wholehearted, soul stirring, spirit enhancing promise to myself, and I don't keep that promise, well, I feel like a whole stack of doggy poop. I'll just be nice with the words, right?
Oh, you can swear. We have the explicit label. It's okay.
Right, okay, yeah, like a bunch of shit, right? And so I don't want to feel like that, right? I'm going for something new. I'm transforming. So just pick a day, just pick a time, and just start. Even if it's something simple to a friend's post, and just start getting in the habit of doing that. And the more you do it, they say the side that you feed the most is the side that will expose itself more. It will step forward. It will become that powerful one. So the more that I feed that part of myself where I want to enter into the world, or I want to be this introvert, I want to be able to intermingle and interact, then the more ideas and the more courage I'll get to make it happen. That's it. You just have to do it. Find ways, find your unique you, and move forward with it. That's it.
I love that. And going back to what you said about making a commitment to yourself and following through, that is massive, 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 because that is the number one way to build confidence, is when you can trust yourself by knowing that what you say is what you're going to do. That right there will build confidence faster than anything. It's one of those, it just will. It's building that self-trust. And also what you said about the habits, especially on social media. I remember a couple of years ago, I was in a group program where we were in a small group, and the woman who ran the coaching program had a group of about, I don't know, there's thousands of people in there, and people will be terrified to post their offers or vulnerable posts that shared a little bit about their own story. And they actually, they used to call them puke and post moments, because it would make people physically ill, the thought of putting themselves out there. But now I know them, I still see the other women from that group in other places online, and it's been transformational. And all it was doing, just like you said, day after day. You just keep doing it, and you just create a habit out of it, and then it becomes something that you just do. You don't even question it anymore.
Absolutely. And I think one of the main things that you just said is trusting yourself. We as women in this society, we've been taught not to trust our instincts, not to trust ourselves. And so what happens is that we put our faith in others to determine or dictate how we flow, how we move, because they can make a better decision for my life than I can. You know, and that's something that we've been taught. However, women, there's this, we have instincts. It's this inherent instinct that we have that speaks to us. And when we begin to listen, you know, because people say, you know, there's this thing, oh, so, you know, I speak to myself, but I don't answer. No, I speak and I answer myself. I really do. So Tijuana, what do you think you should do today? I don't know. What do you think I should do? You know, well, I think I should do that too. But, you know, and then once I start building that inner dialogue, see, that's what's important, the inner dialogue. Then what happens is I begin to trust who I am, Kelly. Women have to trust who they are. Because when we don't trust who we are, we can see in this male-dominant society that, you know, men make the decisions about our bodies and how we should think and how we should flow, how much money we should make, how we should represent ourselves as mothers. No, that's because women are not trusting themselves. When we begin to trust ourselves, let me tell you something, honey, they're not ready. They're not ready. That's why my brand name is New York City Renaissance Mom. I am the mother, of course, like I said, the mother of 10. So when I tell people, oh, I'm the mom of 10, they're like, are you kidding? But look at you. Yes, I have traditions that I do hold dear to, and they shift and change at times. However, I put a modern twist on what motherhood looks like. Motherhood doesn't mean I have to walk around with an apron and hair rollers, and every time Boo, even though I'm single, every time Boo comes home, the food is on the table and the children. No. Motherhood for me and womanhood is that, yes, I'm helping everybody else, my children, to learn how to self-actualize and, you know, all of that. However, I am living purposefully for me. Motherhood and being a wife does not, it's not my complete signature. It's not my total purpose here. My real and dominant purpose for me is to self-actualize. And when I self-actualize, then I'm more valuable to my children. I'm more valuable to my community, and I'm more valuable to my husband when he comes. I'm more valuable to people. And that's the thing. enhance the lives of others, but we forget about ourselves. No, I'm first and then everybody else come after, and that's it.
Yeah. And if you're trying to work with clients and you're not filling yourself up first and you're not taking care of yourself first, it's going to show. It's going to make a huge difference in your business.
Mm-hmm. That's it. You have the, with me, I made the choice to take on this mission because again, it's about saying yes. So if I want people to believe me and to benefit off of what it is that I'm offering, then I have to be a representative of what I'm saying. My life has to be a living example. You know, it's my life is a mosaic, right? So there, you know, I'm still putting pieces together, and that's not to say that I don't have shit going on, right? However, it may be going on, but it doesn't have a hold of me. You understand? So I have to represent that. So I'm all about integrative health, mind, body, spirit. So my mind has to be able to function. I have to flow so that I can be well for myself and others. My body, I work out, I eat healthy, I exercise, I watch my surroundings. My home is a place that's sacred. You know, so it's just an all-encompassing thing, and it has to be authentic so I can authentically help others. I can give them what they need, provide the services.
Yeah. And I've seen your Facebook posts before and they inspire the shit out of me. I'll see you like doing your workout at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the gym now.
Yes. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And I have women, you know, I do fitness challenges and I do different challenges online. And let me tell you, I go to the store or if I go out dancing because I love house music and tribal music. And so when I go out dancing and, you know, women just run up to me and they're hugging me and I'm like, okay, girl, how you doing? And then you know, I love your Facebook. I love this. I love that. And to me, that is the reward. It's not about so much how much money I make. How many lives am I affecting? Who am I helping to heal and to move forward? That's what's important.
Yeah. And you're living it. Like you're walking your talk and you're living it every single day.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, Kelly, thank you because you are this foundation in my life. You are a foundation in my life. You have helped me tremendously. You're very supportive. And I love you for that. And thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Just want to hug you. You are amazing. You're such a powerhouse. If you could give our audience a bit of advice, and it can be to do with life or business, because I think that the two, as much as we try to separate them, if you're in this type of business, if you're coaching, consulting, healing, if you're in this type of purpose-driven work, it's one and the same. It's all tied together. So if you could share with us just some advice that could help our listeners.
The most important tool that I could give or suggestion is self-care. Self-care is so important. It's the foundation for everything. My motto is health is the true wealth. You know, so when I'm with clients or I'm with family or whatever, I have to be physically, mentally, and spiritually fit. You know, I have to be able to keep up with my purpose because my purpose is moving. And if my health is not up to par, it's going to show. So take the time to meditate. Take the time to dance. I don't care what kind of music, as long as it stirs your soul and it gets your hips to swaying and it just does something to you. Dance, laugh, you know, watch comedy, do some journaling, jogging, do something that's going to, enhance your life. That's the most important thing that you can do. And then everything else is after. And remember, it's you first. It's you first. And then everybody else after. You know, there's this whole thing where they say about if an airplane is crashing, who do you give the mask, to first? And I used to say my children, and it's wrong. No, because if I breathe in and take in what I need first and then pass the mask on, I'm better equipped to help them. You understand? So it's about self-care first, self-preservation of self first is the foundation to optimal living and service.
Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Whew, I feel like you just bring it. I feel like I am ready. I know we're nearing the end of the interview, and I feel like I am ready to take on the world after talking to you. Just have that effect on people. I love you for that.
Yeah.
For so many other reasons too. But that's just one. That's just one.
Yes, yes. And that's only because what's in me is in you. What's in me is in all women. We all have the same thing. We all have this longing. We all have this power center that's just waiting to, to burst and give us, just push forward whatever it is that we need. It's there. So I'm talking to your energy center, you're talking to mine, and we're resonating. And so that's what's key. I don't have any more than what you have. We have the same thing. It's just all about how we use it to make the changes in our own lives and then in the lives of others. That's it.
Love it. Thank
you.
Okay, Tijuana, if people want to get in touch with you, which I'm sure they will after hearing this, get hold of this woman, where can they find you? How can they reach you?
Well, right now I'm redesigning my website, so they can reach me by my Gmail account, which is Tijuana, TIAJUANA, Cooper, COOPER, 1 at gmail.com. Or either they can reach me on Facebook, the same name, Tijuana Cooper, and they can reach me like that.
Very cool. Okay, guys, I'll put the links to those below so you can click on them directly. Tijuana, it's been a blast talking to you as usual. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Kelly, and I am so honored. And everyone, just thank you for having me. Love you guys. Mwah, Kelly.
Love you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.